Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your July overall reading. And I've got for your overall energy the Seven of Swords. There's a lot of things that you don't feel you have the energy or the flexibility to deal with right now. I feel like you're very focused on moving your way forward rather strategically through a number of opportunities and obligations that feel very restrictive to you. But you're really focusing on the value of this time as an investment in a vision, in your path, in your route to success. You're not taking in too much of the advisement, the feedback that you're getting from others. You're understanding that this is part of the moment. The lesson of the moment is to be privy to the ideas and the advisement of others. But you are pretty contained in your effort to persevere throughout this time to get to your goal. And underneath this, the Strength card is really underlying this idea that it is requiring a lot for you to stay focused, to stay strong, to stay steady and consistent in your efforts, to understand the ultimate value of the work that is before you, the many obligations and responsibilities. They all have a place and they all need to be done. They all need to be tended to. And you're really keeping your focus on forward movement, understanding that you will find your way through the obstacles that you are now encountering. I'm going to pull an oracle card to get us started, Capricorn. And I've turned over the Herkimer, whose keywords are dreams. I haven't pulled this one in a long time. I love what looks like citrine crystals. The Herkimer, I am constantly manifesting my dreams into reality. Yeah, there's a sense of focus here, of keeping the light. Swords, as you may know, indicate illumination, revelation, knowledge, wisdom, spiritual awareness. And this light through the Herkimer stones are making me think about how you're holding on to this wisdom, this guidance, as you make your way through the challenges, many of which affront your sense of ego and pride. But they are bolstering your confidence by taking responsibility for each and every action, for standing on your word and your commitment to follow through on something. In the 10th house, the Fool card. This is your social identity. This is the way you see yourself in the world and the way others see you. The Fool is, I think, beautiful in that you embody the sense of adventure for others. It isn't necessarily a kind of romantic or stereotypical swashbuckler. Whatever you do, you follow through on your passions. Whether they failed or been successful is of less value to you, or has been in the past, than simply going out and experiencing the world afresh, going to places where you've never been before, or having experiences that are new to you as a way of sharpening your senses and as a way of growing your exposure to the world, your knowledge base. You understand that you are carrying memories with you always that inform the way that you receive these new opportunities. But ultimately, the Fool at this level, for the Capricorns I'm speaking to, is more an accumulation of the stability and security of having lived with your feet on the ground for long enough. It isn't that you want to fly, but you're standing on the precipice of a cliff. You're challenging yourself and your own belief in self as you move forward, as you point below to where you've been, and that you know that you have gained some kind of faith, confidence, belief, as signified by the beautiful halo, that you can do more than what you've done, that there is more for you. There are new worlds. There's a higher level of experience that you are ready for and that you feel prepared for with your bag of memories. In the first house, the Temperance card is about the long and intense healing practice that your life has become. The Temperance is never fast. This represents, in some decks, the Grand Alchemist. That is the long haul healing process. What the alchemist's journey symbolized was the passage of life from our animal natures to our spiritual natures, by applying truth, the philosopher's stone. The fountain of youth was life on forever, living forever, in the metaphorical sense, of course. The fountain of youth was the ability to know that once we have transcended into the light of spiritual light of the divine, that there is no life or death. It is simply a cycle that keeps occurring and recurring. So you have been on this very conscious healing path. You have carefully balanced your decisions, your efforts, your relationships with regard to what you have learned in order to more easily refine your own nature, understanding that everything starts from within. So dreams are born from within you. In the fourth house, the place of your soul, your home, your memory, the lovers. The lovers here is about the greatest love of all. And I'm thinking about the song as sung by Nat King Cole. It has a lot of heavy Christian overtones, but essentially it is the love of self, the love of that is given to all, that is a part of all creation. All creatures are a part, a spark of that divine enlightenment. And you are moving your own relationship to your soul to a new level. You're making more conscious choices for your long-term benefit. You're making fewer choices for short-term gratification. And in that way, you recognize that the marriage within, that is the joining within you of the divine masculine and the divine feminine in a marriage, is ultimately what elevates you to the level of the initiate. The initiate means you finally prepared yourself for a spiritual life. And by a spiritual life, I don't mean, at least I don't mean, a monkish life, a pure life. I mean a life that is devoted to the best in you and in others, to create a world that is sustainable, where there is access to all the goods that make life worth living through one's own effort available. And so this vision of a partnership that affects this great work is part of your having to balance out your own energies within so that you can be available and make a decision, particularly about perhaps an individual, perhaps a relationship, or whether that relationship is the grounding of your own adventure into the world to find your match, your mate. And truly, you are aware that you have found your mate. You have found many mates, many bonds. Many bonds exist in your life, and some we return to after we have grown and found ourselves in a place where we're ready for a relationship that fits us. In the seventh house of your significant others, extraordinary, all major arcana here. The Empress is about your empowerment indeed. You are presenting yourself in your relationships as one who gives and receives love, who is aligned with the natural cycles, who is sympathetic to the needs of others, and in that way gives love by listening, by supporting, by being of service to those who need service, showing others the way to achieve the sense of grace and peace that you've achieved. But standing head and shoulders in your community in a way that makes you a leader of some sort. This almost feels like you're a model rather than a leader, so that your example of caring, reciprocal care, of concern, of love, and of receiving all the rewards and recognition for your efforts is part of what you are learning to do for yourself. And it feels to me like a lifetime of looking for this love in others has finally brought you to a place of understanding that the work needed to be done within you. This is a reading, Capricorn, that is general, so it's not going to resonate for all of you. If it does, please like this video, please share this with others, please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And let's get started with clarifying the Temperance in the first house with the Page of Cups in the second house and the Seven of Wands in the third house. So yeah, there is a really profound opening up of your heart. And in this context, it feels like you have been working very hard to truly open your heart. And I can only believe that you have experienced some severe hurt, betrayal, rejection in order to make the opening of your heart, which is the seat of your creativity and your imagination. That feels important to some of you. This is how you identify. You are open to the information you receive. You're open to the abundance of the natural world. You observe your emotions. You're learning to move in sync with your emotions and to use your feelings as ways of validating what is right for you. This is creating a new sense of belonging for yourself, and yet you are willing to stand and defend your rights, your principles, your belief in yourself, your world, your version of the world, your vision. And this is a new kind of articulation of who you are, distinct from others and what belongs to you, no longer allowing others to take things, abuse your kindness and generosity, your, in some ways, gullibility in the past. So I see you knowing that you need to fight for what is yours. It's important to stand up for that and to not let people take from you without you legitimately agreeing to that. And it feels as though you've allowed people to take things from you and you haven't put up a fight. You've licked your wounds, and now the change as you've occupied your own feelings and your own sense of self-acceptance and worthiness, that you're now understanding that you cannot let people take from you in the way that perhaps you have done in the past. The Lover's card is clarified here by the Emperor in the 5th house and the 8 of Cups in the 6th house. The Emperor and the Empress. This is really beautiful energy, and it's telling me a story about the Emperor returning to the Empress. The Emperor abandoning all of the other relationships, ones that some part of you had to learn that the relationships you had were not fulfilling your needs. And perhaps they did until they didn't. And you needed a greater challenge in terms of creating the world that you wanted to live in. These relationships resonated with an old version of you, perhaps a childhood version of what a family should be or what relationships should be. And you have been responsible to that, but you have learned that that was not enough for you. Those particular relationships didn't show you what you needed, but you learned from them, and now you've moved on. In the same way that you've moved on to the sense of wholeness within yourself, I do feel as if a former soul bond is returning to you. A former soul bond has experienced something similar or parallel in their own spaces or locations. This may be someone you don't know and therefore have not met before, but it's someone who's familiar to you. When you meet them, you feel as though you know them. This is apparently you being ready to entertain this relationship as part of your grand adventure. This is what you've been preparing yourself for, but you weren't aware of that. And it also feels as though you are setting up the terms of your authentic relationship with self so that you actually magnetize your perfect match or a match to you through your efforts to release old relationships that are no longer satisfying. The Empress in the 7th house is clarified by the Knight of Wands in the 8th house, and that's a King of Wands in the 9th house, and the Page of Cups Knight of Cups in the 9th house. The Egyptian cards really do mess me up. So we've got a king here, and we have a knight and a Page of Cups. So the King of Wands is really this inspirational energy that alchemizes when you find yourself connected to this approaching opportunity for creative passion, love, expression. It feels as though this is someone who comes to you from a distance, or that you meet at a distance or have met at a distance. And so your status is very different. You are, in this situation, a king. The cards that are representing you are resonating with ownership, rulership, sovereignty of who you are, what your desire is, your leadership qualities, as does your match. But you're both going through some kind of opening of the heart, some kind of active exploration of your feelings that perhaps you felt you were prohibited or limited from in the past, that you didn't have access to that, or that access to your feelings was too dangerous. And now there's an open and conscious desire to explore this relationship, this feeling, someone you'd like to know better. The Fool card in the 10th house is clarified by the Queen of Swords in the 11th house and the Three of Pentacles in the 12th house. Beautiful. So you are allowing yourself to be curious. This fool's journey, this adventure that you're opening up to, this risk that you're taking is calculated. This is not a foolhardy gesture. This is one that you have strategized and maneuvered yourself towards. And in that regard, you are being led by your curiosity. You've released your judgment about people, about things, and you're understanding this as an opportunity for creative expression, growth in some significant way that will help you to formulate and tell your story better. The story you're telling is putting together a team of collaborators. The mission you're on is facilitating the conversation that help you to formulate this collaboration, which is about building something beautiful, something long-lasting, something of value to all. This feels very much predestined, whatever that means to you. It's the word that comes to me. It feels as though you are exercising many facets of your growth journey, your personality. It's merging, you're releasing, your facade, your masks are slipping away, and the qualities of those persona are being integrated into this movement up and out into the world, to build and create something that comes from your deep experience and deep connection in the world, from the lessons you've learned. I'm going to finish up this reading with a seed and sickle oracle and hope, oh boy, these are still quite stuck together. Hope that you've learned something from this, and I've pulled the bracken. I'm going to read about the bracken here. And number 3 may be significant to some of you. All right, so the bracken. The mystical golden fern seed is believed to have the power to grant invisibility. The actual existence of fern seeds has never been proven, but the magical reputation of the seed remains, as does the fern's mysterious secret. Do not be afraid to let yourself become invisible for a while. The world does not need to know where you are or what you are doing at all times. Let yourself escape from the public eye until you're ready to return. Thank you, Capricorn. If you've enjoyed this content, check out more content here. And until next time, namaste.